in this video. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And I was wrong. Join me and I'll tell you why. Roll titles. Hey YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy with you once again, and this is a bit of a follow-up video to my last one because I was amazed at some of the comments that I got. I was disappointed by some of them. Why do people have to get nasty on comments? Anyway, there's a couple of people being deleted from the channel because I'm sorry, it's not the place for nasty comments. But what it was a really good little, good ensemble of people who with very different opinions to mine, and I'm very pleased about that. That might surprise a few people to hear that I'm pleased about it. But one of the things I try and do on this channel more than anything else is to provoke debate within the photographers who enjoy Micro Four Thirds photography, and in fact amongst people who just enjoy photography for its own sake, whatever camera system you use. And I certainly got a lot of debate from the last one. Some really good points, some points that I totally disagree with, some points I had disagreed with which swayed my opinion, and that of course is part of debate as well. It's so that we can stay open-minded. A couple of things to put to rest. First of all, the person who I was talking about in the video, he was very comfortable. He's been in touch with me since the video. In fact, we talked on the same night it was released, and we've had a good laugh about it actually. So there's no animosity on that, and I think I made it actually sound a little bit more contemptuous. Yeah, contemptuous. I think that's the word. A little bit more sort of aggressive maybe than it really was in real life. We had a good conversation, and he's been in touch with me. I got a few people saying, well, by the way you described it, everybody's going to know who it is. Do you really think my channel is that important and that it gets spread that far and wide that people will pick up from that and know exactly who the person is from it? That also made them laugh as well. So yes, my channel isn't that big, isn't that influential. It'd be nice maybe if it was, but it's not. As I say, there was a lot of really constructive comments there though, and the constructive comments are what I really get a kick out of them. I really get a buzz out of them. I read every comment I can find. If I miss one, it's because it's a fluke rather than deliberately, so I very rarely miss any of the comments, and I enjoy reading them. And as I said in the past, the comments aren't just for me. The comments are there for everybody else who gets onto the videos and looks on there. So a lot of what is said to be read by lots of people, not just by me. But I did find a few things that I really did like in it. I concede I am in the minority on the view. But I did say in the video actually that I wasn't taking a view. I did say I was very open-minded onto what was being said about it. I did ask you for your opinions, which I certainly got. I did err towards the side of disagreeing with it, especially going to the competition side. But you know what? I'm not big-headed and arrogant enough to say that I can't be swayed, so I changed my opinion. I did actually apologise to the guy as well. If I'd made it too hard, I didn't mean to. But there was some people who were on my side, gave some really good opinions on that one. Some people who were on his side and gave a great deal of opinion on that one. And some people which came in saying it was very thought-provoking. And the more I read about them, the better I felt about it, because if it has provoked thought, then it's done its job. It's just what I wanted the video to do. I don't want to be nasty to anybody. I don't intend being nasty to anybody. That's not my purpose, not my raison d'etre. There you are, a bit of French. I bet you didn't know I could do that. Not my raison d'etre in doing these videos is to upset people or to offend people particularly. Although I do tend to think that if people are offended, people take offence rather than me give it. But no, it was good. One thing I did find, one person gave me a really good comment and said that the word fraud was maybe too controversial and too hard. And we came to that, talking about fraud amongst the original conversation, and sort of stuck in my mind. But when it was said that, I did think to myself, do you know what? You're absolutely right. So I changed the title of the video, put a new thumbnail up, It was interesting though. You lot, you might be a little bit like that, but it's amazing how the views went down when I changed the word. People do like the shock factor, which wasn't the reason I used it in the first place, but it does show that the thumbnail has a huge effect, and by using some very assertive and very to the point words can get you more views. Don't think I like to get my views that way though, so we'll maybe change it. But certainly by saying something a little bit on the harder side seems to do that, because the views went drastically down immediately I changed it. Now, the thing with that is that it does come to the end of the day as to what we're taking photographs for though, and it really provoked thought from me after his conversation with me. And we did, again, as I say, we did talk about it again afterwards. I mean, my biggest point was the lens he was using, and I don't think I put this over in the first video, the lens he was using was a 60mm lens, which is a full frame equivalent of a 120, which isn't actually a very long lens. And my contention more than anything else in my mind, and I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, this is just what was provoking me at the time, so please don't do the hate mail. I've seen enough, I can't take any more. Yeah, my sort of thing was, if he'd been at the camera, could he have got that shot without disturbing the birds? Because by having that remote triggering sort of mechanism, that automatic triggering mechanism, there was nothing there to upset the birds. And I think that's what I was trying to allude to when I said the birds look very calm and very composed in their own place. But a couple of people did point out, well, you know, on both the Olympus and on the Lumix cameras, you can get quite some distance away from the camera itself and be using the app on the phone or the app on the tablet, and actually be doing the camera that close with that lens on without disturbing the bird. And that opened up a whole other sort of thing for me, because in essence that's no different to what he did, except for the fact that it was the bird triggered it. And that really made me concede my point, actually. It was that probably more than anything else which got me to concede my point. If you are doing it through a remote control to the camera, and you could be multiple meters away from that, and nicely hidden, or even the other side of a wall or a window or something looking on, but you still get that shot. Is that just as much cheating? I don't know. So I concede to you all that I was possibly wrong. But do you know what? If we didn't have differences of opinion, life would be incredibly boring, wouldn't it? And our photography would have nothing that we could talk to each other about and question on about. It really is interesting. What was really interesting, though, it was a very Marmite subject. There was no in between. It was one or the other. So that really took me by surprise as well. The good thing is, so as I say about this is about the positive side, not the negative side. The positive side of this was we're communicating. The positive side was I got a whole load of fantastic comments and answers and people's viewpoints, which I wasn't aware of before. So if anything, I think that was probably one of the best videos I've ever done, because of the responses, because it got us all talking, because it got us analysing what we thought about a certain situation in photography. So I think it was, instead of being fraudulent, I actually think it's brilliant. And that's what I've called this video. This video is definitely about the brilliance of it. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, just explaining a few things. Real huge, and I mean huge, thank you to everybody who contributed to the last one. If you're going to contribute to this one, please, there's comments below. Please keep them nice. As I say, there was a couple of really nasty comments, and I'm not here to be abused online, and the rest of my subscribers aren't here to be abused online. And it did get to the point on one or two which I had to take the comments down, and on a couple of situations I've actually blocked them from the channel, which is, it hurts me. It breaks my heart to do that, because I don't believe in the censorship part. But I also do believe that if you're going to be part of a little community, especially a community which is normally so friendly, that the subscribers I have on here are unbelievable. That's you. That's you. And if you're not a subscriber, then take my word for it, it's worth being a subscriber, because you join a huge bunch of fantastic people who, on the whole, are really supportive. So, yes, I do apologise for having to block a couple of people for the comments, but if you want to leave a comment on this video, any of my videos, please, just hit in the comments below. I'd love to see them. And while you're down there, just give the usual thumbs and everything like that. But another important thing, these wonderful people are my Patreon patrons, and they do give a huge amount of support. They give a financial support to the channel, which keeps me actually able to make videos. You've got no idea. People think that YouTubers are stinking rich because they're pulling a fortune from videos. I think when I last looked at that video, the previous one I've talked about, which got quite a few views and an awful lot of comments, I think it was at somewhere around about £2.75 income. So we don't get super rich from this. It costs us more to make the videos than we ever get from it. But my Patreon patrons are the fantastic people who help towards that, and also the ones who buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Brian James. I really appreciate them. Anyway, till the next time, keep on taking your camera out. Whatever you take, whatever your methods, have fun with it, because that's what we're really here for. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.